Hello and welcome to episode 54 of Unemployed to Unstoppable. I'm starting to think that this might be the season. Stay tuned and let's see where we are. And welcome back, and as always, best place to start is with the competition. So in the Premier League we're third. We're 5 points behind Man City, and they're the crux of the problem. I'll talk to them about them shortly, but outside of Man City, I think we're competitive with everybody in the league. I'll show you in the schedule afterwards how we were getting on, but you can see we've got 2 defeats there, one against Everton and one against Man City, who also knocked us out the Carabao Cup as well. So they're kind of becoming a bit of our Achilles heel. Champions League wise, we've got 3 wins from 3, which again is fantastic. We beat Arsenal, Lyon and Sturm Graz, which again fantastic results. Some of them we had to come from behind, but it's not all been plain sailing, but we're doing all right in that. An FA Cup, we're not in that yet, but in terms of the schedule, we were doing really well. If I can just find the button, you can see there we were winning absolutely everything, and we were creaming our way up the table. We had a great win against Newcastle. I think we actually went a goal down, 3-1 up, 3-2, managed to hang on for the victory. There's been some players who are standout achievers. Codrianu's doing brilliant, but somehow Vinwezer's scoring more from the wide position, so he's the real surprise of him, and we'll look at a couple of them players as we go on. Zakia Kabas as well, he's settled in really nicely. The disappointing result so far, I think, would have to be the Everton game. If you take the 2 results against Man City, which we actually equalised in that game, but Erling Haaland came back, and we need him to retire before we can make any real progress. And again, the Carabao Cup, we didn't create enough in that game, and they beat us 1-0, which is fine, but it's happening too often now that we're getting beat by City. And without the defeat to City, we'd probably be sat top of the league and would be one of the favourites for the Carabao Cup, but we fit them at the wrong time. In terms of the squad then, most people are performing pretty well. The ones at the top in terms of the average rating, ignore Becker, he's an outlier, he's only played 1 game, but Vinwezer, 10 goals in 13 games, playing out on the right hand side. Initially brought him in as a striker, he did play a bit up front until we got Codrianu and Medina, who are our 100-200 million pound players up top, so he's been pushed out wide on the right. And his goals return, 8 goals in 8 Premier League games so far. That's a phenomenal return, and if he keeps firing on form, he's only 25, so we've got him for a few more seasons. He's down as an elite striker, but we've got him wide, then we're going to go a long way. Some of the other players who are playing pretty, Codrianu, he's kind of 10 goals in 9 games in a sub appearance. He started the season because Medina was injured, but he's gone strength to strength. He's probably the first name on a team sheet as it currently stands. Medina's dropped off a little bit. In fact, where he's on this list, he's dropped down. He wants to go. He wanted to go to Barcelona. He's very disappointed that we turned down, I think it was 200 million for him. But we have been toying with playing 2 up top. And I don't know if within the schedule, I don't think it shows you the formation that you're playing. I think you can get it to show the formation. But we did try a couple games. I'm trying to use one like Reading. I think we might have played both of them up top. Can't quite see from that, but there's a couple of games where we played both up top, trying to get more and more. So there's Codrianu and Medina in the same team there, trying to get more and more players in that front lineup, because tactics wise I think we're fairly solid in the formation we've got, but when we're the favoured team, I think Johnson can be dropped and we put 2 up top, Medina and Codrianu next to each other, and then you've got Bordenov, Medina, Codrianu and Vinwezer full on attacking. Then we've got Topologlu and normally Zakia holding the kind of midfield area, and a really strong back 4 to keep us up on it. So that's been working really well as we've been going into it. Other players we maybe look at, I don't think there's really any standout players from there. Topologlu's having a good season. Bordenov's done well since he came in on the left hand side. I don't think we've let particularly many more go. We have let a couple, like Salas we've let go for 7.25 million. Aguilar and Brandon have gone out on loan. I think Dortmund, Johnson had already gone to Dortmund once in their previous episode. So again, transfers in is still less than transfers out, so that's all good. There is some money in the pot should we find a player that that pops up in the scouting list. I have been adding more and more players to the short list. I mean, Enoch Nundikumamama from PSG. I'd love to get him in there as the partner to Zakir. Currently 55 to 65 million, but he's 23 and he's going to last a huge number of years. I'm toying with the idea of breaking the bank to try and get him in there, because squad-wise, I think our front four is fantastic. Midfielder, we've got a couple of really good players in there. Goodwin's still got to develop. Johnson, I mean, they're really good. I however think that we might need to save up for either a centre-half or a full-back or a goalkeeper. I think that's probably the area where we develop next. And again, let me know in the comment section if you think that's wrong, but I think that's the area that's going to improve us next. In terms of our pre-season predictions, etc., we're still up on 9th on 33 to 1, so we're not too far off that pack. But in terms of today's episode, we've got a game against Arsenal, so I've saved a couple of doozies for you. We've got Arsenal, and then we've got Atletico Madrid in the Champions League phase. So I'll get to them games. We'll see if we can put in a couple of good performances again. So stay tuned. Welcome back for the first game against Arsenal. We've got a good, strong starting lineup today, but it kind of emphasises what I was saying before, is that our front players are considerably better than our defensive players. But we've got Romero in goals, Krasov, Calderon, Aliou and Shahar in the back four. Johnson, who's back from injury full-time now in that deep line playmaker role. Zakir and Goodwin in front. And then we've got Bordenave, Vinweza and Codriano up front. Medina on the bench because he's still in a grump about not going to Barcelona. But he is there to bring on, maybe go two up top, depending on how the game pans out. I mean, I think we can compete with Arsenal. We've beat them a couple of times last season. We've got a strong enough team. I just sometimes think we rely on a little bit of form rather than anything else to get us over the line. Some games we come in and we're just off it a little bit, and then other games we're absolutely dominant. So hopefully this is one of the dominant games. Although it looks like Arsenal is going to get the first highlight. Neves and Saliba and Ansu Fati playing. I mean, they've peeled us open there like a banana, but Saka was offside, I think. Let's see what the VAR says. I'm going with offside. Disallowed, yeah. Pixel perfect offside decision in Millwall's favour. And for anyone who's following the results of the weekend yesterday, the mighty Millwall managed to get a victory and make themselves safe for another season in the Championship. So well done to the Lions on securing another season in the Championship. And hopefully, again, they can find a way to push up to the top end of the table. I think it was only a season ago they missed out in the playoffs on the last day of the season. So they have it in them. I think, like anything else, sometimes you just need that kind of form and the things to hit right in the season. But starting to get some results and doing the right things. Arsenal with another highlight here then. Martinelli breaking into the box to Malik Williams. Former Millwall loanee. Looks like he's opened up the scoring in this game. This time it's been awarded. Don't want to look at that again. Let's go a little bit more positive. See if we can push him on the back foot. Kravtsov with a throwing down the left-hand side. He's immediately giving the ball back to Arsenal, who clear it. Goodwin picks it up deep. Okay, we just got to find a way to get the ball forward into the right areas. Vinweza's probably going to be key on the right-hand side. Out goes to Shahar. Can he get across in? Yes, he can. Bordenave doesn't manage to get on. He's turned back in. He smashes one in the bottom corner. Lovely little turn. I thought he'd gone the wrong way initially. Doubled back on himself and slammed it in the bottom corner. Good cross from Shahar. Bordenave let it run over his shoulder. Loose tackle from Boss. And then he drills it into the bottom corner. Godoy will be disappointed to let it in his near post, but back on level pegging, back on level terms. We are still playing more positive mentality now, so hopefully we can get the next goal and go ahead. Robbing them with a high press would be nice. We can break quite quickly, but Arsenal making inroads forward again. Shahar's won the ball back. Vinway's down the right hand side to Zakir. Not seen much of him on camera yet. Oh, some ropey defending back there. Although Arsenal now with a counter attack of their own the other way into Williams. Hits both posts. It comes out. Oh, has anyone seen that? Goal line technology. Surely it can't cross the line if it's hit both posts. Come on, let's be sensible. But yeah, a little bit of luck there at both ends really. We'll get Aliou to mark Malik Williams. Arsenal come forward again. We're not quite winning the ball back with our press. Another chance for Arsenal, but we'll stick with it. We're not out of the game. We have still made a couple chances of our own. We just need to pick it up a little bit. Kravtsov not having a particularly great game at left back, but he's probably not seen too much of the ball. Another little bit of positivity just before half time. And we have got a throw in. Can we get something just before half time? Zekier to Shahar again, who's key for the first goal. Then he goes to Bordenave and he's got a header in there. They are calling for offside. It didn't look offside to me, but I'm biased. Goal's been awarded. So just before half time, a little bit of encouragement. Zekier and Shahar working well. Shahar pings it to the back post, and Bordenave with his second goal of the game, leaping highest, putting us 2-1 up. Probably slip back to a little bit of cautious play on the counter for the start of the second half. And hopefully we can secure another 3 points in the Premier League, because I think we've got it in us to put a real challenge this year. Man City aside, we do get to play them again later in the league, and I'm sure some other teams might find a way to take some points off them. But we need to pick up as many points as we can against the teams like Arsenal, the ones we're not expected to. Keep winning the games that we are expected to. As Topologlu comes on, I need to make a quick sub because him and Goodwin play slightly better the other way around. Topologlu in the more advanced position as the Mezzala, and Goodwin playing as deep line playmaker, although he's flagging a little bit as well. We've got final 15 minutes. Ball's gone deep to us. Turning round, I mean, wouldn't it be just typical if one of them players made a mistake after I said he plays better than deep? There he is. Goodwin's giving the ball away. It's gone forward to Malik Williams. I thought it looked slightly offside when he played the ball forward. It's been given though, and unfortunately we're back to 2-2. So we'll probably slip back to a positive mentality. Vinweza for Medina as a final substitution, probably of this game, into the final 3 minutes. And although we were unable to hold on to 3 points, I think we might be able to get away with 1 point. Last minute of injury time, and there we go. So I'll click through and get us ready for the second game of the episode. A good hard fought 1 point against Arsenal, and again I think it shows how much we can compete. We're 7 points off City now, because I think they've picked up another victory over there. 1-0 away at Forest. So we need to reel them in somehow, and we need to catch up with Newcastle, because they're the other team that's got a bit of money to spend. They've got some really good players. They're always difficult to beat, but I think we have a good run of games coming up in the Premier League soon, so hopefully we can make up some of that gap. That's enough nonsense talking. I'll get us through to the Champions League game, and we'll see how we get in that competition against Atletico Madrid, so stay tuned. Welcome back. We've seen us plenty of times in the Premier League. It's time to see us in the Champions League. That's what everyone wants to see, is a bit of development, to see where we are. And what better test than Atletico Madrid? So an away game at them. Slight changes to the starting line. We've got Romero in goals, Kravtsov, Calderon, Alio and Shahar at the back. Johnson playing in the deep line playmaker role. Goodwin on the right instead of Zekier, who's dropped out for a little bit of fitness. Topologlu is a Mezzala role. We've got Bordenave, Vinweza and Codriano up top. I did toy with putting Medina in, but he's still being really grumpy. So we're going to have to wait for him to get over that before we reintroduce him to the team too much. Or we sell him to Barcelona for a couple $100 million, which might give us a bit of money to get a world-class centre-half perhaps. I don't know. I'm still toying with the idea. I like the idea of keeping him, because I think if we can integrate Codriano, Medina, Vinweza and Bordenave all in that same front four, we're going to give a lot of teams a lot of problems. I know it means dropping one in midfield, but I think if we've got two really strong midfielders who can hold the midfield on their own, it's probably going to be better overall. Initial chance to Madrid then, 10 minutes into the game. They've got their first kind of highlight. We have had one chance off target. We'll see how the game develops. And again, I don't know why. Sometimes I don't think we're overly creative. We will put some encouragement and go a bit more positive. And we will go for this game, I think. If we're at half-time not kind of getting into the lead or getting into the swing of things, we might go two up top, just to let you see how that kind of pans out as another loose pass. Dewey there, who was the world-class midfielder, we nearly managed to snap up on a free transfer. Unfortunately, he didn't want to come to us. Vinweza down the right-hand side this time, finds Codriano, and earlier on in the season he was smashing them home. Hopefully he can get one today as we come up towards half-time. Still in the game, probably not as dominant as they are, but it's expected when we're playing away at their ground. think if one of our midfielders isn't playing particularly well, we drop him for a striker and we just go for it in the second half. All too often I play quite defensively in trying not to lose too many points, but I think having 9 points from the first 3 games gives us an opportunity in this one to just go for it. That's another loose pass from Goodwin. He's the one who's possibly facing the chop from midfield because he's given the ball away in some key areas. And I think it might be time to make them think about it and go the other way. So let's get into the tactics. Goodwin playing a 6.5. Let's take him off for no, let's do it Medina in for, what am I doing? Medina and Johnson swap round. Medina then goes up top. It's confusing myself looking on this little mini map, and then I think we take Johnson off, put Cabas on, and then I think that probably makes us look alright for now. We swap them to. Yes, right, let's go for it. Let's get out there and give it a real good go, see if we can create some chances. Calderon with the ball at the back then. First highlight of the second half, hopefully coming to us. Playing the ball down the left towards Medina, but he's unable to retrieve it. However, we have got them pegged quite far back in their own half, so if we can win the ball high, this might yet still be a Millwall chance, although they are breaking down the right hand side now. Cutting into the middle, Pereira with a shot, just goes over the bar. So what looked like was going to be a highlight to us didn't quite work out that way. Medina and Codriano, can they work together up top? I've got one playing deep, one playing advanced, which I think is normally the way I like to go. Topologlu unable to win it there. Pereira with a chance down the right. He's looking like a good player. In it goes. They get another chance, and I think maybe we just swap Medina and Codriano round as we go into the final 30 minutes. Vinweza now with the ball. He's giving it away. And we get games like this where we just get a bit loose with the passing. Madrid breaking down the left into the middle of the park. Pedro, shot goes wide. And we might rescue a draw out of this game. I still think we've got it in us to maybe get the 3 points. Bourdonnais for Cop, just for fatigue. No, we're chasing shadows at the minute. The press isn't quite getting them. Medina's loose pass. And again, I don't know if that's to do with his morale because we haven't sold him, but I just think he's more benefit staying. I think if we sell him and get £200 million, we're not going to be able to attract a £200 million player to Millwall at this current stage till we start winning more trophies. So Codriano breaking forward, he's been tackled. And again, Madrid will come back the other way, although Topologlu's won it back. Medina, can he find the pass? Vinweza down the right, he's giving it away. So, we're just constantly giving the ball away here. Vinweza wins a good drive to win it back there. Can he find one of our players? Medina again. Just ball after ball given away. A tackle goes in. It falls to Velev. And we have gone a goal down. We could kind of see it coming, but too many players giving up too many loose passes in the middle of the park. And we've been punished. Codriano playing a bit of a stinker. But he does get a free kick and that was on target. Flag whistle goes for offside. Another free kick now. Codriano with a second attempt. Can he get it on target? This ice hit would work again. So Codriano for Arse is the final change. We will, however, swap Arse and why has that not gone through? Arse and Vinweza. And see how we go on in the final few minutes. 5 minutes ago, dominant from Atletico Madrid, probably the deserved winners. But I did hope we would maybe get one more chance before the end of the game. Medina breaking forward. They're going to pick up a red card with a minute to go. I mean, for what it's worth, we will go very attacking for the final 4 minutes of injury time. But I don't think we get anything. And it'll fizzle out to a 1-0 defeat. So, not what we wanted. Positive signs in there. Got to find a way to get Medina back on song because last season he was incredible. This season, just after that transfer bit, it's really turned his head and made him a bit of a miserable monkey. But we will work on it. In terms of when we'll come back again, probably get a good 10 games through. Maybe if I can around the FA Cup third round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so Bournemouth in the FA Cup round in the next episode. Until then, I'm going to go and I'm going to put myself through the pain of watching Everton play Nottingham Forest and praying that we can finally score a goal. Until next time, enjoy yourselves, enjoy your weekends, enjoy your Football Manager, and I'll catch you again soon. Goodbye.